We're so excited to offer you one of our first interviews is going to be Curtis. Curtis is one of those amazing, awesome DJs. We were doing a prom together and he kept that dance floor packed with high schoolers for the whole day. He really knows how to rock it and understands the different energy levels and how to pump you up. And it's just an awesome honor. And so for today, I'm so excited that we're going to have Curtis. And so without further ado, we're going to head to our first question. So first, I'm going to have you introduce yourself. Tell us a little about your business, who you are.
I'm Curtis Whipple. I'm a DJ. I'm blasting through my 41st year. Holy cow. Started when I was a teenager. Who knew it would become my life's work, but I'm a lover of people and a lover of music, and it's a good profession to be in.
Awesome.
So born in California, but raised in Arizona. Left home at 17, went back to California. Mostly lived there my adult life, but came back to Arizona 14 years ago now.
And so how about share us one of your glory stories, like something that went really well?
Well, I'll share two.
Okay.
Well, like I mentioned, I'm a lover of people and a lover of music, and it's a great profession because I get to interact with people when they've got an occasion. Well, there's something, because you'll admit life sucks most of the time, but every once in a while somebody scores a win. They found love, they're getting married, and we're gonna slay the fatted calf and put on our best clothes and invite the neighbors, and we're gonna dance into the night. So I get to interact with people when they're having that, or corporate events. Somebody had a successful year. They're celebrating. They're giving their employees some bonuses and having a party and spending some money and feeding them and letting them be together. I believe that a company that can play together can work together better. So anyways, that's a great thing to be in my profession, but I always like to use the power of an occasion to advance a cause in life. I really do think you can save souls and bless people's lives by speaking well and playing the right songs and create an environment for them to have those feelings and share those emotions together. So I had a bride in my office one time. We were planning, it was kind of a 2 months out. We were kind of having almost a final planning session. But I asked her about father-daughter dance. I could see that she got tense in her chair. And I said, all right, I hit a nerve, what's going on, and she says, well, listen, my father left when I was little and he mistreated my mom. Yeah, and I knew that was an understatement. There was pain there. And she says, in recent years, he's kind of put his demons to bed. He's trying to do better. He's coming to the wedding. I'm just not there yet. So, okay, listen, if you're not there, I'm on your side. If I need to call your mom or somebody to tell her to stand down, if there's anybody pressuring you to dance with him, and you don't want to, I don't want that at your wedding. So let's start there. Let me put you at ease because I'm on your side. Now, you say he's put his demons to bed. He's trying to do better. Could you, if that path were continued, could you see yourself in 5 years? Maybe some forgiveness and interaction a little bit? Oh, well, yeah, I think so. If this path continues. Okay, well, let's start there then. How about we use the power of this occasion to advance that cause a little bit without making you uncomfortable? If you could say inside your heart, this man gave me life. If he did no other thing than that, I will honor my life on the dance floor. And I said, hey, maybe we just go through the first chorus of the song, minute and a half. and she immediately relaxed into her chair. She's like, you know what? And again, in light of the fact that he's trying to do better. If he wasn't, then this is a different conversation. But he's trying. So let's extend an olive branch, as they say. So anyway, she relaxed into her chair. We kind of planned it out. So then wedding day comes. And as final preparations are underway, we're about 45 minutes before the ceremony. Tables are all set. Chairs are all perfect line. And I'm introduced to her father. And his head is down, literally and figuratively. And he knows that he hasn't earned his place there. He's there because of grace. And so he's very subdued. But I said, all right, Mr. Smith, after dinner, we'll have some toast. And I want you standing right over here. And I'm going to introduce you. And you'll dance with your daughter. She'll meet you out in the middle of the dance floor. This is kind of what we had choreographed with the bride. And so the moment presents itself after dinner. I introduce him. He meets her in the middle of the dance floor. She smiles. She's gracious. He twirls her around one time. Get to the first chord of the song. Fade. Everybody cheers. And I thought, what a lovely moment to have happened. It would have been a shame to not let this moment happen, Most of the people in the room didn't know there was any messy business. They just thought this is a lovely moment. A lot of times if I know that the bride is close to her father, I might invite dad to give her a dad kiss on the cheek out there on the dance floor. That wasn't the case here. They parted, and it was a lovely moment. Now, fast forward 5 years, I'm usually friends with a lot of my past brides and grooms on Facebook and Instagram, and I see them, building a home and getting advanced degrees and building a business and having babies, and I feel like a DJ grandpa. So 5 years later, this was 2 springs ago, she posted a picture on Instagram. First grandbaby is born, and she posted a picture with her and her dad and the baby. Seemingly, forgiveness had taken place. There was affection in that picture. So what a lovely thing to advance a cause with the power of an occasion. So a DJ got to save a couple of souls that day.
Nice. That's awesome. And was there number 2? You said
number 2 is in a similar vein. A bride's father had passed 6 months before the wedding. And so they were going to continue with the wedding, but there's going to be people there that are hurting. Dad should be there,
Mm-hmm.
Every moment that you do, highlighting a mother-son dance is going to illuminate the fact that there's not a father-daughter dance. So we were trying to work our way around this. And she called me just a couple weeks before the wedding. She said, my mom's pressuring me, my aunt, and they want to do a big memorial for my dad. And I love my dad, but it's just going to be a big downer. And I don't want that at my wedding. And I kind of went the same thing. Listen, I'm on your side. I'm gonna call your mom and tell her to stand down if you need me to. But let me ask you a couple of questions so we can work through this. Did you have a funeral, a memorial service? Well, of course. Oh yeah, you're right. We did. So did you shed some tears, hug everybody? Well, yeah, it was lovely. And I said, okay, well, let's start there. We already had a memorial service for your dad. So what's some things we could do at your wedding that wouldn't be a downer? Because we'd like to honor your dad, but not have it be a downer, recognize that he's not there. Maybe the minister can say something just in the ceremony. Moment of silence, any number of things. A minister might be able to help you better with that, your officiant. Just something during the ceremony, but let's move on. You don't want to have an empty chair drawing attention to it. You don't want to have a memorabilia table and a candle, all these things drawing attention to your dead father. But I said, here's I got something. Because I had met her father. He was there for when they hired me.
Mm-hmm.
He was a lovely man. I happen to know that he was a Tom Petty fan. And I said, listen, I want you to call your mom, your aunt, your father's golf buddies, business associate, whatever, people that knew him well enough to know that he was a Tom Petty fan.
Mm-hmm.
And here's what you say. Listen, during dinner at the wedding, the DJ's going to play Tom Petty, Wildflowers. Not going to say anything. He's just going to play it. And that's going to be our moment. And we'll remember Dad, but not have a big memorial thing where it draws the whole thing down. So sure enough, dinner's going on. Everybody's been served, and we kind of settle into dinner. And the moment presents itself, and I play Tom Petty, Wildflowers. And you can see this little kerfuffle around the room, and people reach out and squeeze somebody's arm or put an arm around their shoulder. And yeah, there was a couple of tears, but it wasn't a big downer. It was a moment of joy, playing a lovely song from Tom Petty that I knew her dad loved. So anyways, and again, a DJ got to make an event. It was going to be a good event anyways, but it was better because I added something to it, some expertise and some structure and some framework for people to express their emotions.
Gotcha. Cool. That's an awesome story, both of them. And one of our fellow DJs, Scott Favor, likes to say you can be better or you can be different.
Love Scott Favor. Yeah.
So how can you be different? How are you different than other DJs? Or
I tell you, I am a better DJ because of Scott Favor. I've learned so much from him, but I'm thinking, could I do what Scott does? Absolutely not. I would tank badly. He's got his gifts that he's made a show and a way of doing things that works for him. I've got this other way. Again, I'm glad that I know Scott because I can do my way better because of people like Scott Favor. But for me, it's kind of what I described in the stories, creating a structure devoid of cheese. Get your cheese from the caterer. I don't want to do anything cheesy. But I want to have a rock and roll show. And granted, I know what the formalities are. Like, for instance, during dinner, I'm going to be a proper master of ceremonies and speak well, advance the plot, introduce people that are important, honored guests, to give a toast, to give a prayer, and speak well. But after dinner, people came to celebrate this occasion. Let's give them some structure to help them celebrate. So we're going to, shout some amens and shout some hallelujahs and break some guitars and cut loose and celebrate all on the dance floor and let it all go. I want to frame these moments toward their energy peaks. Like I described, life can suck sometimes, but when we have this occasion, let's make these moments that become part of their souls, and they remember them forever. They're going to forget what color the linens were. They're going to forget whether they had cold pasta or chicken or even filet mignon, they'll forget what song I was playing. But they're going to remember this moment that was created that, again, becomes part of their soul and it blesses their lives going forward. They talk about it for years. So I think my gift is just creating a structure and a framework for people to celebrate an occasion.
Very, very cool.
And feel comfortable doing it. Yeah, not because I'm never going to force anybody to do the chicken dance. Like if you get a hobbyist DJ, they arrive at that moment where people aren't dancing. Well, it's too late. The moment has passed to not have that happen. So what do? Well, I'll make them do the chicken dance. Now, if somebody said, we're from Wisconsin, we always do the chicken dance. It's our family tradition. Okay, I'm going to play it. Just won't be my first strategy. I'm going to earn the crowd by doing my job, and we become one. We're together now. And then I can add something like that. It's not forced, contrived. You don't violate the guests because they didn't want to. But when you're out there celebrating, you add something like that, and they're already feeling it. It's the thing that pushes that moment off the cliff. It's great.
Right. Awesome. And one last question for you is what's one piece of advice you'd give someone looking to hire a professional?
Well, I'm a member of the American DJ Association, and it seems so trite. The first time I ever read it many years ago, but there's just a list of questions on the American DJ Association website, questions to ask your DJ. And some of them are simple things like, do you have liability insurance? Well, a hobbyist probably won't have that. I would hate for you to find out on Thursday before your event that the resort's not going to let your vendor in because they don't have insurance. So some of those simple things, just they're not a guarantee by any stretch, but they start to get you to weed out some of those things. Oh yeah, I didn't even think of that. That thing's important to me. I'm glad I asked that DJ because he doesn't provide that service or that peace of mind on that thing. So it seems so simple, but there's just 10 or 12 questions to ask your DJ that should start to give you a baseline of, is this company solvent? Are they competent? Have they ever been to my property? Do they have backup equipment? There's things like that to ask. Like you ask a DJ, you got spare equipment? Oh yeah, back at the shop. Well, what good's that going to do you? By the time you get there, the event's over. You've ruined it. So I've got redundancies built right in. There's two of all the crucial things. There's two of them built right into my system. And then there's also spare equipment in the van, like the next level of crucial. If I thought that I needed 4 speakers on an event, I'm bringing 6.
Right. I've
always got, I use a wireless headset. There for my microphone, there's a wireless handheld for the toasts and the prayers. If I had radio interface, I've always got hardwire mics right there ready to go, in a split second. So anyways, I think that's a good start. Just go to the American DJ Association, adja.org. Questions to ask your DJ. That's a great start.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Anything else you want to add or?
It's because of the nature of the creative, artistic presentation that a DJ is going to do. I do think it's important to sit down and meet with them. I mean, there's a few questions on the phone or on the email to kind of have a baseline of we like this guy or not. But boy, it's important to me because I don't do a cookie cutter thing every week. I want to know your family traditions and your the music you love, artists you don't want played. I want to know the vibe you're looking for. The more I know about you and your vision, the better a job I could do when you ultimately hire me. And it's hard to do that when you can't sit face to face over a cup of coffee or some snacks at a cafe and talk about it. It's important to connect.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Curtis. I really appreciate your time.
My pleasure. By the way, if you're watching this, I say the same thing back to Jeremy. He and I have done several events together over the years, and he's a solid guy, and I recommend him